Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are here for week 5 of the NFL. Uh, Jose Carlos Gomes, who is our two-time defending champ, just ripped us a new one last week. 14-2 last week, guys. If you want to listen to the guy with the messed up hair, because that's the guy who's going to be, he's going to be making the picks because everything went his way last week. And that's not to discredit his picks. Everything, even the Raiders, who had no players, will beat Cleveland last week. Everything went Jose's way. All the opposite picks Jose got. The rest of us were 8-6. So he took a 8-grain stranglehold on our pool. However, it's week 4, and there's plenty of time. I was 12 games back last week before almost tying it. And so we'll see. Jose had an excellent week. I had a lot of games where I just didn't know who to pick. You saw me with Buffalo and Baltimore. I had Baltimore originally, switched to the Buffalo. Baltimore smashed Buffalo. So congrats to Jose. We have some bye weeks this week. Just for the confirmation, the records are Jose at 42-22, and the rest of us at 34-30. So as we go through the show, we'll talk about last week's games and we'll make our picks. 4 bye weeks this week. You know who they are. And let's go with the Thursday nighter. Jose Barbosa, are you ready?
Oh, let's go.
Of course.
Okay, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I want some more views. I'm going to share this a little bit more. And now here comes Gil Santos. So we will have him on the show. We were going to just mention he's not on the show, but here he comes. And so we'll wait to make our first pick when we see his face on the show now.
It's a good division game, so
yes,
it's a big division game, the Thursday nighter.
Gil Santos, are you with us? Gil, are you with us?
Yep.
Okay, good. We have Gil. Gil, we did the introductions. We're going to make our picks. And as we go through the show, I'll ask you guys about last week as we go along. So let's start with the Thursday nighter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield just gave it to last week, just hammered the Philadelphia Eagles, who looked just about done. Just absolutely hammered them. They're going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Barbosa, I want to ask you, what's up with the Falcons and Kirk Cousins? How's that working out? How's that offense looking?
So early in the season. Let's give it a little bit longer. Okay. Let's give it to week 6. Let's give it to week 7, 8, and then we'll see. Listen, I still haven't winning the division.
Like so that $40 million bucks, looking good when Minnesota's 4-0 with Sam Darnold. Looking good, right? Yeah, just check.
I know.
Yeah, they get rid of Cousins. Minnesota's a Super Bowl contender. You see how that works? All right.
Anyway. But mind you, it's not. It's the defense is what's helping Minnesota.
Oh, Darnold's got 11 touchdowns, buddy. Darnold deserves credit.
I know. I'm not saying. Listen, when that defense is playing well, obviously the offense is going to be on the field more. You get more chances to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what's going to happen. That defense is what's running. It's what's making that team right now.
Okay, so let's pick this game. Tampa Bay is at Atlanta, 3-1 versus 2-2. Let's start with Jose. Who do you got in this one? Since you're red hot and you get everything right, we'll start with you.
I'm taking Atlanta. Like I said, I take them to win the division. Last week they played well. Offensively, they're still struggling to find out who they are, if they're a passing team, if they're a running team. But you know what? The defense, like I said, they was going to keep them in the games. They're a good defensive team. I think that they need to win this game. If they think of winning the division, they need to win this game, especially at home. So I'm taking ATL, the Falcons.
Oh! Barbosa, who do you got?
It is a tough game, division game. And like Jose, I did pick also the Falcons to win the division. Defensively, they are a good team defensively. Offensively, I think they need to run the ball more. I think they need to run the ball more, stop relying so much on Kirk Cousins. In saying that, Tampa Bay's offense is rolling. Baker's playing amazing again this year. He's not a fluke. It's what happens when you go to a good team. Unlike Cleveland, who just keeps messing up quarterbacks. Um, I'm good, but in saying that, I'm gonna take Atlanta. They're at home. I think they're gonna be running the ball a bit more. Tampa's run defense is a bit shaky, and that's why I'm gonna take Atlanta. They're at home. I think they'll be running the ball a little bit more this week.
Gil, who do you got?
Well, thank God, because after Tony's explanation, almost put me to sleep there on that one. Um,
Here,
Baker Mayfield looks like he's having fun out there. Atlanta's been playing better. Jose said it right. Their defense is still, we don't know what they are. But I like the way Baker Mayfield, he's out there having fun. He's destroying teams. So I'm going to ride him. I think Tampa will win.
I picked Tampa to win the division because this game, I believe Tampa will win. And so Tampa takes a 2-game lead in the division. I got the Bucks. Atlanta does have a good defense. Their offense is very shaky. I think that Baker will outscore them. I thought Atlanta got away with murder winning that game against New Orleans last week. They had no business winning that game last week. They got a pass interference call and a 58-yard field goal at home to barely beat New Orleans. I got Tampa Bay winning this game outright. Now let's get to a game that I'm not going to waste any time on, but since I'm not going to ask anyone about this because I was right about it, I'm just going to say I was right about the Jets. They stink. Aaron Rodgers stinks. The offense stinks. Garrett Wilson is average. They can't run the football. They lost 10-9 to Bo Nix at home, and now they're going to face the Vikings. This is the lock of the week. The Vikings hammer the Jets. Jose.
I don't know what kind of football you watch, but whatever. Anyways,
Well, what game did you watch last week when they lost 10-9 to Denver? What game did you watch?
Okay, it was a defensive game.
They were brutal. They had
Defensive
five
teams.
They had 5 false starts at home.
Yeah, so what?
They were terrible.
It happens. Not everybody's perfect, like you. But anyways,
okay. The Jets are good. Good. Pick the Jets against Minnesota. Go pick them. Good. Go. Pick the Jets. I dare you. Go. Pick up.
Tough game. Minnesota's due for a loss. I'm taking the Jets.
There you go. By the way, this game is in London, I believe, at Tottenham's Hotspur Stadium. So just keep that in mind. All right. So Jose is going all the way down the Titanic with the Jets. Gil, who do you got?
I agree with Jose. This game's in London. We all watch Ballers, right? So we all know what's happening right now. There's hookers, cocaine happening there right now. Sam Darnold's on a high. They're like, this guy's probably all drunk. They're all happy. I agree with Jose. I think the Jets will win. This is going to be a tricky game. So I think Sam Darnold falls down to the whiskey and the cocaine, and Rodgers wins this one.
Now, Gil, you do realize that the Jets lost to a quarterback that had -7 yards passing at the end of the first half. You realize that, right? They lost to a team that had a quarterback pass for 60 yards and -7 yards in the first half at home. You know that, right?
I seen it. I watched.
All right, I'm just checking because now they're facing the best quarterback in the NFC.
But don't forget that Jet Denver game was also pure rain all game.
Exactly.
They had bad grips on the ball for both teams. It was just a brutal game.
And the Jets missed a winning field goal at the end. They could have won the game. Like, I don't know. You're making such a big fuss about nothing.
So Barbosa,
if the Packers didn't miss 2 field goals either, they would have beat the greatest comeback of all time, by the way.
Barbosa, are we sure Zach Wilson's not the quarterback in New York scoring 9 points at home? Or is that Rodgers we saw playing? I just want to make sure I saw Aaron Rodgers playing in that game. But anyway, you make your pick while you're telling me who was the quarterback. Go ahead.
It was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make
Broncos defense, but the Broncos defense is no joke. Like you guys and like Jose and like Gil said, it was a rain game. Even Aaron Rodgers made the comment after the game that the conditions weren't the greatest. But in saying that, I just like the Minnesota's defense the way they're playing right now. And their offense is rolling. I think this is a show me game for Sam Darnold. I think this is a game that Sam Darnold is gonna be. I think he's been waiting for this for this game for a while to show
This
the
is the
Jets
biggest revenge game you'll ever see in your
what kind of
lifetime.
quarterback he is. I did pick the Jets to win the division, but I got to take Minnesota. They're rolling right now. They're a team that's rolling right now, so
What
I'm
a
going to take the
revenge game,
Vikings.
guys. Bet your money on Minnesota this week. Darnold is going to go in there and see that green, and he's going to be seeing not ghosts, but all those Jets that he wants to take advantage of. Let's go to Miami. The Dolphins are in trouble, guys. They have some guy named Snoop who can't throw over 100 yards. Tyreek Hill's getting frustrated on the bench. Jose got this one 100% correct. Tennessee beat them last year with the whole roster, and they beat him again this year with a mixture of Will Levis and Mason Rudolph throwing for 80 yards and a mixture of Tony Pollard in there, and they killed the Dolphins. Now they go to New England to take on the Pats. I would ask you about these two teams, but I don't want you to talk about these two teams because they're pathetic. Gil, you make your pick first because I don't want you to be bored.
Patriots.
All right, Barbosa, just take a guess. Just flip a coin, honestly.
Patriots. They're at home.
All right.
Better running team. Well, whatever,
Jose.
better defense.
Jose.
I'm taking Miami. And I'll tell you why. I think Miami last week, Huntley was first game playing, doesn't know the system yet. I think this week he'll be more prepared. I think he's a good quarterback for them. He's a mobile quarterback that can run. He's like a Willis type of thing that can run. He can throw the ball too. I think he needed to get a little game under his feet. He hadn't played for a long time. I think this week will be better. I don't think the Patriots are that great. They're not better than Miami. So I'm just going to go based on the talent wise. I think Miami will squeak this one out, and Tyreek Hill will have a big game this week.
I agree with Jose that Miami will play better, and I agree with Tyreek will have a better game. Having said that, I can't bet Miami with any confidence right now. New England did play well against Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, they did play well at home to barely lose to Seattle, who's one of the best teams in the league. So I'm going to take New England at home because until the bye week, Miami's not going to win a game, and they better pray that Tua comes back after the bye week. So I got New England. Let's go to Carolina, who had their fun and then ran into an angry Cincinnati team. They take on Gil. I want to ask you. They're taking on the Bears in Chicago. What's your thoughts on Caleb Williams so far?
Choke job, but Andy Dalton's gonna have a field day because even though they lost to Cincinnati, Cincinnati was a desperate team. They needed that win. Chase was back, Higgins was back, like they got their core back. So, but the Bears don't have that. So I think Carolina might have the upper hand here on offense. The Bears do have a great defense, but if Williams keeps playing like that, he won't even beat Carolina. So I'm gonna take Carolina.
Okay, Jose.
What do you want me to say? You want to talk about Caleb Williams, or
No,
you want me to just give my pick?
Give your pick unless you have something to say about Caleb.
Well, I think he's just got to play simple. That's all it is. I think if he plays simple, that team will, with the defense that they have and with the weapons that he has around them, they'll be fine. They've been managing to win games even when he fucks up and stuff like that. So, and saying that, there's no way. I don't think Carolina should be in this game, especially in Chicago. Chicago plays well. They're playing well at home, so I'm gonna take the Bears. The Bears at home.
Yeah, we saw a DeAndre Swift sighting last week. That gave me a lot of encouragement. Carolina's run defense is terrible. If Swift can run the football, takes the pressure off Williams, and he'll throw a little bit more accurately and with less hesitation. He won't be throwing the ball up in the air to anybody. He had no turnovers last week. The Bears' defense is awesome, especially at home. I've got the Bears. Barbosa.
I'm also going to take the Bears. I think Caleb Williams last week had a much better game. And like you said, they run the ball. You got to remember, it's only week 4. It's only we're going to week 5, but he's just getting better. He's understanding the NFL. and the Bears defense is way better. Carolina, they had their one good field good game with Andy Dalton, but I don't see much from Carolina, so I'm gonna take the Bears, and they're at home.
Okay, let's get to this game. Barbosa, what do you think of your Colts?
What do you think of my Colts? They're a 500 team. That's what I think of my Colts. What do you want me to say?
What do you think of me and Jose correctly predicting that Richardson would get hurt by the Steelers defense?
Well, of course, it's the Steelers defense. They probably have the best defense in the league. They were going to get to Anthony Richardson somehow or another. He needs to learn how to protect himself better. It is what it is. He got hurt. That's
Jose,
expected. That's why they went out and got Joe Flacco, because they needed an insurance policy there in case that happens. So that's
Jose,
why.
You were 14-2 last week, but the one thing you didn't guess was that Pittsburgh would also hurt Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan Taylor's probably been.
That's the only hope that they have on that team, because that team, besides if it wasn't him, that team's shit. Anyways, why were we even talking about the Colts?
Hey, he's part of the team, no? He's part of the team.
Put the fucking Jaguars. Take the Jaguars. The Jaguars are gonna fucking win the first game of the season.
Take the Jaguars.
Okay, Jose, is that who you're taking?
Yes, take the Jaguars.
You're gonna take the Jaguars.
They own the fucking Indy, and Indy's shit. Why are we even talking about that shit team? Like a bunch of rednecks.
They're second in the division, buddy. They're second in the division.
Fucking a horseshoe that to stick up their ass every single week. Why are we talking about that?
We have the same record as the Niners.
The ugliest, I
have the same record as the Niners.
Don't worry about the Niners. The Niners will whip your ass any time of the week.
So don't worry about the Colts. Why are you?
I'm not worried. That's what I'm saying. Next, who gives a shit about the Colts? Why are we even talking about the Colts? I don't even know why
they
you
play in the
talking about the
NFL,
Colts on the show.
They play in the NFL.
Quarterback is shit. Now they got a guy that Joe Flacco. That the guy that should have been in a couch retired. Now he's gonna be playing. And dude, like, who cares? Next, Jaguars. Next.
Barbosa, who are you picking in this game?
I'm gonna take the Colts. Jonathan Taylor. He's been the best back the last 3 weeks in the league.
I disagree with that.
No,
Anthony Richardson will be back. Before he got injured. Listen, go look at the rushing yards.
Henry and Mason have been the two best running.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Alvin Kamara
Next. What are we talking about?
And Richardson will be back. Before Richardson got hurt, they were already winning 14-0 before he got hurt. So yes, I'm gonna take the Colts. What they did to that defense, yes, I will take the Colts. They exposed Pittsburgh's defense.
Gil,
and next.
I know you're not a fan of Trevor Lawrence, so I know you must be taking Indy in this game.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a football game since week 13 of last year. I've never picked him, but I'm gonna pick him this. The Jaguars are gonna beat the Indianapolis Colts this week. They're at home. Trevor Lawrence has to. This has to be. If this guy doesn't do it this game, they have to find another quarterback. So Jaguars win.
So, Barbosa, listen very carefully. There's two reasons why I'm taking Jacksonville. Here's the first one. They own your team. They own your team. There's no disputing that. They own your team. Number two, your Colts rush defense is brutal. And Jacksonville's going to run the ball all day. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to throw more than 20 passes in this game. They're just going to run with Bigsby and Etienne the whole game, and that rush defense is in a lot of trouble. And so I got Jacksonville for those two reasons. Plus, they better get a win. Otherwise, they have zero chance of winning or making the playoffs. So I think Jacksonville will be desperate, and they'll win the game. Also, the Colts, availability of Taylor and Richardson really concerns me. Flacco will be a sitting duck if they have no running game. And so that's why I'm taking the Jaguars. Let's go to, the Buffalo Bills. If you watched the show last week, I said I thought Baltimore was going to win that game despite how well Buffalo was playing. I switched my mind a bunch of times. And what happened? Derrick Henry, 87-yard run on the first play of the game. And it was a beatdown from then on. Buffalo just got destroyed. They're going to Houston to take on the Texans, a team I picked to go to the Super Bowl that's looked very average to start the year. Having said that, this is a big game for the Texans. I think Joe Mixon might be back, and if he is, the Bills' rush defense is horrible. And if Mixon is back, the Texans will win. So I'm taking the Texans. Let's go to Jose. What do you got?
Tough game, but I
Very
think
tough game.
Buffalo got exposed last week for the team that they are defensively. I think they're missing a lot of good key linebackers and Derrick Henry ran all over them. I think if Joe Mixon plays, Houston will win this game. So I'm taking Houston in a close one.
By the way, not just for fantasy purposes, because I have them in both my fantasy league. Nico Collins is the best receiver in the NFL right now. I don't think that's a big statement. Now you could say Justin Jefferson. Don't get me wrong, but Nico Collins has been unbelievable this year for the Texans. Barbosa, I can see you Jefferson. I understand Jefferson's been great. Who do you got in this game though?
I'm going to take the Bills. I think last week, I think that play kind of screwed up their game plan. I don't think they were prepared, honestly, for such a big game. And then that first run by Derrick Henry kind of did. I think they'll go back to the board, and I think they'll clean up some issues. I think the Bills will win this game. I just think they're a better football team. I understand, and Houston's going, like you said, Houston's been average. There's something going on there. I thought would be much better than what they are. I don't know what it is. Why they're only 2-2 or 2-1, whatever the record is, or 3-1. But they haven't been blowing teams out. So I don't know what's going on there. But I'm gonna take the Bills. I think the Bills.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen will have a bounce back game.
The Texans are 3-1, by the way. Yeah,
3-1. Okay,
go ahead, Gil.
Tony seems like he's lost in this week. Like the reason why the Texans obviously blowing out teams or even playing better is because they're missing the running game Mixon. Because when Mixon was down the first game we saw Texas play Texas. So when he comes back, Tony, they'll be better. Don't worry. I don't know if you forgot.
They only won by 1 against the Colts. They only won by 2 points against the Colts. Even with Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon played that game. Joe Mixon played that game.
Is the big part of the Colts. Okay, there's a big part of Texans. Okay,
they need balance.
What do you mean? Mixon didn't play against the Vikings. He got hurt.
No, he didn't.
No, I said the Colts, and they only won by 2. They haven't been blowing teams out, even with Joe Mixon.
Barbosa, division games are always close. Always.
Exactly.
Listen, okay, it's a division game, but I understand. But they haven't been. Everybody's been high on the Texans, like from last year, and now they got Joe Mixon, and they still haven't been blowing out teams. They haven't been blowing out teams. All the games have been close.
Yeah, but who gives a shit if you're blowing out teams or if you're winning? As long as you're winning by 1, 2, 3, 20, 50, what matters is that you win. So who gives a shit if you're not blowing out teams?
Okay,
they're winning the games. That's all it matters.
It hasn't been like, oh yeah, the Texans are this amazing team.
Neither has Minnesota, and they're 4-0, and neither does Kansas City, and they're 4-0.
They didn't blow you guys out. No, you guys didn't get blown out.
What was the score, Tony? What was the score?
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Don't talk like you know. Like you're
the Niners lost.
They did lose, but did they get blown out? No, unless you consider losing by 6 points a blowout.
It was 32-19, Jose, for Minnesota.
No, there you go. See, that's not a blowout. There you go.
Yeah, that's a blowout.
Gil, you want to make your pick?
Yeah. If Mixon comes back, Buffalo got exposed on the defense. They got exposed just like Tony Barbosa has no hair. Same thing. So exactly. That's what they need, a cover 2 in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna take Houston. I think Houston rebounds and Mixon comes back and makes it a whole. It gives them the balance.
Yes, Houston much better when they're a balanced offense than just throwing the football. Let's get to the game that the guys are going to this week. Baltimore going to Cincinnati. The Ravens sent a statement to the NFL and to the Bills last week that they're a team to be reckoned with. The Cincinnati Bengals are trying to rebound from a 1-3 start. Lamar Jackson owns Joe Burrow. That's just a fact. They beat them every single year. And so, having said that, I'll take the Ravens. Let's go to Gil. You make your pick. I'm sure you like the Ravens too.
I do. Me and Jose will be there live. Um, Jose, by the way, what are you wearing? Are you wearing Cincinnati or Baltimore? What are we doing?
I don't even know.
I don't.
I'll probably wear Cincinnati because it's the home team. So whatever.
Yeah, I might do the same, but game wise, I think the Ravens are going to win. I picked them again, right? I believe I picked the Ravens Packers,
Yes.
but I picked the Ravens to win it again, right?
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah. So you're taking the
So
Ravens?
I'm gonna take the Ravens. Yeah, they always own Cincinnati, but Cincinnati last week they got it clicking. They got
Yeah,
clicking.
against Carolina, though. Against Carolina, like
Yeah,
nobody.
but that's sometimes all you need. You just need some
Yeah,
confidence, right? And
yeah.
they got some confidence under their belt. But I still think Big Henry there and Lamar will run wild all over you.
Yeah. That's just on Cincinnati's rush defense is horrible, and this will be a very high scoring game, guys. So enjoy the game. Whoever's going, Jose, you guys be a nice high scoring game. Jose, who do you got?
Every time we've gone, the road
Wait.
team is 6-1. Okay, so
How's gonna be my pick, fucker?
the only time that was last year when the Titans beat Cincinnati in Tennessee when we went.
Which was a
But in
surprise.
saying that, if Gil goes to watch the game this time, then Baltimore's going to win because he's the jinx. If he goes into the stadium, he last year he didn't go to the stadium, the home team won.
Home team won,
He's
yeah.
the jinx. And so if he doesn't go this year, then Cincinnati's gonna. I'll bet on Cincinnati. But if he goes, then I'm taking Baltimore. But anyways, he said he was gonna go, so I'm taking Baltimore to win.
Barbosa.
And Cincinnati is not.
Their
I think
defense is awful.
they're frauds.
Yeah.
I think their defense is gonna they get exposed very easy. They have the firepower to keep scoring, but that defense, nah.
And by the way, Barbosa, your pick for MVP is Joe Burrow. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. The defense
No,
is
it's
terrible.
not.
The defense
Yeah,
is terrible. Yeah. Go ahead, Barbosa.
Yeah. Jose took my line. I'm gonna pick Baltimore just because whenever we go and these guys go, the road team always ends up winning. So for that reason, I'm taking Baltimore. Even though I like Cincy, but I'm gonna take Baltimore just because of that reason.
And don't forget, Joe Burrow tomorrow probably have an injury or something. Usually the quarterbacks or somebody gets injured too.
That's right.
We'll see.
We've seen so much backup quarterbacks you wouldn't even believe.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys got Skylar Thompson one year.
Thompson, Mason
For
Rudolph.
Pittsburgh, we seen what?
Yeah,
Mason Rudolph?
Rudolph,
Who do we see? Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, it was Rudolph.
Jacoby Brissett.
In Indy, we see Jacoby Brissett. In Indy, we see Brissett.
Yeah, it was Brissett. Like, everybody's always injured.
You guys are bad luck, man.
No, when we went to Baltimore, it was Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar Baker Mayfield. Yeah, that was the only one. That and the Giants and against the Saints. They had Eli.
It wasn't Daniel Dimes. It wasn't Danny Dimes.
No, it was.
I don't think he was the quarterback.
It was Eli Manning at the time still.
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning was on the team.
Was he?
Yeah. Yeah, they had Odell, they had Barkley, they had all those guys and whatever.
And New Orleans went in there and spanked them. Oh my God.
We're going to make one more pick before we make our break because I think we're going to be unanimous here unless Gil has like a state problem or a name problem. The Cleveland Browns, who are horrible and have a quarterback problem in Deshaun Watson and need Nick Chubb back in the worst way, even their defense can't take it anymore. They're going to take on what I consider to be the best offense in the league right now with the best rookie quarterback by a mile in the NFL. I got Washington. They're winning the division, by the way. I don't give a damn about Dallas.
Sorry, what did you say? What was that take you said?
Say that again?
What was the take you just said? That Jaden Daniels is what? The best quarterback in the NFL?
No, he's the best rookie quarterback in the whole league by a mile. It's not close.
Oh.
It's not close.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to win, and Washington's winning the division. I'm telling you right now, they're winning the division because Dan Quinn will improve that defense, and that offense has scored like 18 straight drives. Like they're gonna kill the Browns. Jose, Jose, you and I have been high on Daniels all year. You gonna change your mind on this one?
No, I'm not gonna change my mind. I don't. You know what? Like these games, after a team takes a licking that they're supposed to win, and like Cleveland, they always end up bouncing back and stuff. Like Cleveland's like one of those teams. They're up and they're down, up and down and stuff. Like you don't even know what. One week they play amazing, the other week they get shellacked.
I
Like
just don't see how they keep up
it's
offensively, Jose, in this game. How?
yeah, but dude, this is not gonna. Don't think this is offensive thing's gonna be for the rest of the season. These guys are not gonna score 18 drives straight all the
Well,
time. Like
you only need 10 points to beat the Browns.
yeah, well, I'm gonna take Washington. I think they have something special going on offensively with Daniels there rushing, passing. Now that they have Brian Robinson Jr. rushing the ball too. They still had Eckler injured, and he's another weapon that they can use. Yeah, I see Washington pulling this one out, but don't think it's gonna be like a big blowout or anything like that. I say like you don't even know which Cleveland's team is gonna show up. But in saying that, I'm gonna take Washington at home.
Barbosa, you've been taking the Browns all year. You're gonna keep going on that train.
Nah, nah. I've fallen off that bandwagon. They they stink. Let's be honest. They reek. Defensively, yeah, they're good defensively, but my God, offensively, Deshaun Watson he's a joke.
I can't believe they
He's a
lost
shell.
that game to the Raiders last week. I cannot
Yeah,
believe it.
he's a shell of himself. Um, and Cleveland again messing up quarterback situation, giving him all that guaranteed money. Um, yeah, I'm gonna take the Commanders. Offensively, they're playing well. I'll eat my words. Jaden Daniels has been the best rookie QB by far, by a mile. He's been the best rookie, I should say. Never mind just a QB. He's been the best rookie by a mile. He's running the ball well. Um, I didn't think, his arm would transition well in the NFL. So far, it has. I'm sure teams will start to game plan for him a little bit better. But in saying that, I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Yeah, his legs are a major weapon too. The Browns blew a 10-0 lead to the Raiders, who had no players last week. Yo,
And
who do
and
you
he's
got?
finally like the one thing I like about him is that I wish Anthony Richardson will take a page at him. He slides. He's
Yes.
he's now
Yes.
he's gotten to the point where he's gotten enough yards then that you need a first down. Slide. You don't need those extra 5 yards. Just slide.
Yeah. All right,
Get that
Gil.
first down. Slide. That's it.
We got 1 minute before our break. You make your pick.
Well, it depends. If Myles Garrett's play, it might be a different story. He might give Daniels a little bit of tough of a time. It's Achilles, so I don't think he will play. So that being said, I just don't think Watson can keep up.
Yeah.
But I don't think Washington score a lot of points on the Browns either. But I think they'll probably a field goal game.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on the Reese Report.
What's karma from Peyton Manning?
All right, we're back on the Reese Report. That was just Barbosa talking while we were on the break. We're going to get to the 4 o'clock games. We just took a little bit of a break there. Let's get to the Las Vegas Raiders, who are a team that I can't figure out. Every week they play different. So they 1 week they're beating the Ravens in Baltimore. The next week they're getting smashed at home by Carolina. Then they're playing without players and they're winning at home against the Browns. I don't understand this team. All I know is there's turmoil between the coach and the receiver. Gil's hoping he gets Devontae Adams back and just he's going to be traded. It's a circus over there. They're going to Denver to take on the Broncos, who have zero offense and a great defense. They won a game 10-9 last week because of their defense and because the Jets stink. But having said that, I'm taking the better defense, and I'm going to take Denver, even though Bo Nix is terrible right now. Barbosa still thinks he's rookie of the year, so that's why you shouldn't listen to him. Like, my God.
Hey, what did I say about Jaden Daniels? I didn't say he's rookie of the year. Oh, I said at the beginning.
I mean,
it doesn't look like it.
Bo Nix says one good game against Tampa Bay and he's rookie of the year. Jaden Daniels has been great all year. But anyway, I'm taking the Broncos because of their defense. Because they got no running game. Their quarterback's average. They're winning solely on their defense right now. Jose, what do you got?
I flipped a coin and I got Denver, so I'm taking them.
That's it. Might as well flip a coin on this. Gil, you gonna go with Bo
Yeah,
Nix again?
I'm gonna take Denver based on their defense, though. I just think Raiders will have a hard time scoring.
Yeah, 100%, especially without Adams. You going with Minshew Magic, Barbosa?
No, no, not against that Broncos defense. And like you said, no Devontae Adams, not a chance.
All right, this is going to be a quick pick as well. The Arizona Cardinals, who got absolutely annihilated by Jaden Daniels, by the Redskins, the Commanders. I can't even say it, Gil. I can't even say their stupid name, the Commanders. Anyway, they go to take on a very angry 49ers team after they pounded the hell out of Leno's Patriots. I got news for you. This is going to be another beatdown. So I got the 49ers. Jose.
I got the Niners, but it's not going to be a beatdown. They struggle against Arizona and Kyler Murray every time he plays. That's one weakness that the Niners have is against mobile quarterbacks. But they always end up getting a squeak out a win here and there. So I got San Fran, but don't think it's going to be a blow. I think it's going to be a closer game. And but I'm taking San Fran.
Just for the record, I'm doing this based on history. Last year, the 49ers beat them 45-29 and 35-16. So that's 19 points in both games.
Yeah, but that last year they didn't have
Murray.
Murray wasn't playing at that time.
Murray. Oh, hold on.
Murray played in the second game. Murray played in the second game. They got beat down anyway.
His first game back or second game back?
It was on December 17th. I don't know. You tell me what game.
And that defense last year was much better than this year's defense. I don't think this year's San Francisco defense is not that great.
They couldn't score on Washington's horrible defense at home. So I don't think Fred Warner showed everyone the defense is back next week. Anyway, you go ahead, Barbosa. I'm not afraid. They're gonna pound the hell out of the Cards.
I'm gonna take the Niners. Arizona's defense is not that good. Offensively, they can keep up with a lot of teams. I think their offense is good. It's just defensively, they can't stop anybody. You've seen it against Buffalo. Yeah, you've seen it against Buffalo. You've seen it last week. So I'm gonna take the Niners. I think they'll outscore Arizona in this game. Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Like Jose said, I don't think it'll be a blowout.
I certainly think it's going to be a high-scoring game, so take the over. Gil?
Yeah, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I believe that, but I don't think it's going to be a annihilation.
Gil?
I'll take the Niners. I don't have to explain anything. You guys already did the explanation.
There you go. Here's another game I'm not going to waste too much time on is the G-Men go to Seattle. The Seabags, despite losing last week, did impress me in that game against Detroit. They moved the ball really, really well. If their defense showed up, they would have had a chance to win that game. They had a late turnover, which really hurt. That could have changed things, or could have made that game really close at the end. I got the Seabags. The Giants have Neighbors as a concussion protocol. Robinson's questionable. They have no receivers. Singletary's by himself, fumbling the ball every game. This is going to be. I think Seattle wins this game. So I got the Seabags. Barbosa.
This is your lock of the week. This is going to be Seattle.
That's your lock of the week? Okay.
Seattle's winning this game. The Giants have nobody. And Danny Dimes is on an island by himself. So, yeah. Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, Seattle should win this game. Not too many injuries for New York. Although they played well against the Cowboys last week. But Seattle should win this game.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mr. European. He's going to be the MVP of the best Euro player in the league.
Well, man, Geno Smith.
Mr. Italian Stallion.
Jose, just so I'm making sure I'm right here. Geno Smith was awesome in that game. Agree?
In what? Last week?
Against Detroit. He played awesome.
Yeah, he played well. Yeah. he played well.
Yeah, he's been great. Geno Smith, I mean, we all joking aside, he's been great. The 49ers are going to have a battle for that division, and we're going to be playing Seattle soon. So, I think what we're 2 games behind. Oh, we're 1 game behind now because they're 3-1. So we'll see what happens there. But we're all taking sea bags there. Hopefully the 49ers can keep up with them. Now let's go to my favorite game of the week. Gil, your boy's back. Now your defense didn't show up last week. You want to explain to me what happened in that first half? What happened, Gil? 28-0. You're down at home. What happened?
Yeah, they fell apart, disorganized a bit, but they bounced back. They got themselves back in the game. Too bad the kicker missed some kicks, or else that would have been a win, right?
I think there was a late fumble too. Late fumble at the end of the game there.
Yeah, Kraft fumbled that at the end, yes. Or else this game would have been the greatest comeback of all time.
It could have been.
With that being said, they came out in the second half and they looked like the Packers of before. Love probably, took a little first 2 quarters to get back into it, but he got a rhythm right in the third, fourth quarter. He was unstoppable. And I think from now on, as long as he's healthy, he's just going to continue that way. The Rams are in trouble here.
I agree. The Rams, you're taking Green Bay, obviously, right, Gil? The Rams defense is horrible. They miss Mr. Donald a lot. And they're in a lot of trouble playing this Green Bay team. The injuries on offense are notable. Stafford threw a horrible interception last week, reminding me of exactly who I think he is, a guy who was lucky to win the Super Bowl because Tark dropped the damn football 2 years ago. Green Bay wins this game. I think this will be a fairly easy win for the Packers. I just don't think the Rams will be able to keep up offensively without their weapons, and their defense is terrible without Donald. They have a lot of injuries as well. I got the Packers, who really need to win this game to keep pace with the rest of the NFC. Jose.
Yeah, I agree with you. Green Bay should win this game. I think the Rams are just dismantled with injuries. Their best wide receivers are out, and Green Bay needs this game. So I'm taking Green Bay.
This game's in LA, and I still think that Green Bay is going to win this game. Barbosa.
If it's in LA, they'll have more fans. They'll have more fans of Green Bay Packers than they do of LA anyway. So,
well, since Barbosa brought it up, Gil, do we have a quarterback controversy in Green Bay?
Barbosa knows what he's talking about. I agree with Jose. Barbosa, what's wrong with you? Oh my God, bro!
Are you kidding me? Your balls. I'm just breaking your balls.
Yes, Malik Willis is 2-0. Yes, Malik Willis is 2-0.
But Jordan Love's 0-2. No, I'm taking the Packers. Like Gil said, in the second half, Jordan Love came. He came off an injury. And yeah, he looked a little bit flustered in the first half. But the second half, he got it together, and they started moving the ball well. So yeah, and the Rams they're a mess. Defensively, they're a mess.
Let me say this about
so I'm going to take Green Bay. Jordan Love will go 1-2.
Yes. Let me say this about Gil's Packers. I think there's a lot of weaknesses in the NFC on San Fran's defense is kind of iffy. Detroit's defense is up and down. If you look at the top teams in the NFC, there's no superstar team. If your defense can hang in there, Gil, I think they're a Super Bowl contender, your Packers. 100% I think they're a Super Bowl contender because that offense is just vicious. 4 receivers. They got 2 running backs now. They got the rookie Wilson running for them all day. Love looks great. If their defense can just keep them in.
I think they got the best. I think they got the best receiving core in the league. I think they got the best receiving core in the league.
Yeah, Watson's
as a core. Yeah, I would say yeah.
As a core. That's what I said. I think they have the best the best receiving core in the league.
Not better than Houston's, bro.
Yeah, I think Houston's might be is
1 through 4.
Yeah. Because Watson's always hurt.
1 through 4.
I can put him up against Houston, 100%.
Buddy, who's leading the league in receiving yards?
Nico Collins.
And exactly.
And Diggs
who's leading? Who's leading?
I'm saying the core.
Diggs is leading.
I'm talking about all the receivers.
Yeah, they're receiving. They have Tony Dell, You forget about Tony Dell too.
Tank Dell and
I'm
Diggs.
just saying. To me, the Packers have the best receiving core.
But Dell hasn't been doing nothing this year.
And what has Watson been doing?
Yeah, Watson's always hurt. That's the
That's
thing, right?
The only one that's been doing anything is
It's Reed.
Reed and the
Wicks.
Wicks last week. He had a
Yeah.
good. And Romeo Dobbs has been doing shit too. Like
I think
don't be
Dobbs will
They
rebound
they
with
have
love.
Malik Willis throwing the ball. Come
But they only,
on,
but they
man.
only had love for that one game.
Come
Jose,
on,
like,
in one game. Well, 2 games now.
Dobbs will
But
play
you know,
better with
let's
Dobbs
pump the
will-
brakes there too.
Dobbs will play better with Willis. My point was their offense is Super Bowl worthy. It's their defense that's the problem in Green Bay. So we'll have to see.
100%. It's their defense
Yeah.
that's holding him back a little bit.
Which Gil
well,
already knows, of course.
it ain't for interceptions. They have like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Is it the run defense?
Yeah,
Yes.
the run defense.
Yes.
The run
it
defense
is.
is holding them back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Jefferson throw, like no defender could have protected that. It was a perfect throw. So I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Let's go to Dallas. Oh God, the Dallas Cowboys. Remember when we sat here and said they're gonna kill the Giants? They made that the most difficult 5-point win you'll ever watch in your life. What a horrible game. They're going to Pittsburgh to take
And you guys
on
were
the
on
Steelers.
Dallas winning the division from the beginning.
Oh, they're not winning
And
the
you guys
division
were on
anymore.
Dallas.
No, I got Washington winning the division now. That's the Eagles and the Cowboys defense are so bad. Washington's is as bad. Like they have the 3 of the worst defense in the conference. But having said that, Washington's offense is where they're going to win because the Eagles are falling
Yeah,
apart.
that's what it is.
That Dallas's offense is desperate. Their defense is falling apart. They got 2 injuries on defense now. They got Parsons out and Lawrence out. I think Fields is going to have a field day in this game, and I meant that intentionally. Fields is going to have a field day, and that run defense is bad. I think Pittsburgh is winning this game over Dallas. I think the Cowboys are in trouble without their defense, and I don't think that Dak's going to have a fun time with the Pittsburgh defense. I think Watt's going to be all over him. The Cowboys have no running game, and they only have 1 receiver, and so I've got Pittsburgh winning this game, and Fields having a monster day. Jose.
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh, but they didn't look that impressive last week. Like they gave up too many rushing yards too. If Dallas can start a run game against them, but then they don't have anybody anyway.
They don't. They don't.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Zeke Elliott's done with. I don't even know why he's on the team. But in saying that, I'm taking Pittsburgh at home.
Did you hear the story, Barbosa? Derrick Henry was in Dallas in the offseason because he lives there. He basically went to the stadium and was like looking to get signed. And Jones is like, nah, we're okay. And he went to go sign with Baltimore. That's got to be the dumbest owner in sports. I don't care how much money their team's worth. He's dumb. The only one that's close to as dumb is the Atlanta owner. But go ahead, Barbosa. You make your pick. Stupid Cowboys. Let's go with Rico Dottle and Ezekiel Elliott as our running backs. What a dumbass team. Anyway, go Barbosa.
They go and get Elliott. And he hasn't been the same since the first 2 seasons in Dallas. Anyway, I'm gonna take the Steelers. Just for all the reasons you said. They have no defense. Everybody on defense is hurt. They have no run game. And if they're relying on Prescott to throw the ball, guess what? He's gonna get swarmed by TJ Watt because TJ Watt's playing out of his mind. Yeah, and Pittsburgh will run the ball this week better than they did last week. 100%. So, and they're at home, so I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Yo,
Yeah, I'll say so too. I'm gonna bring it home by a field goal.
your boy Boswell's going to hit 6 field goals again this week, Gil, to help you in fantasy.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, by the way, this week. I'm going to 5-0, just so you know. Let's go to Mr. Black Ram. We're gonna battle this week. Jose, you're going to go to 5-0 as well. We'll worry about that later. Let's go to the Monday Nighter, the New Orleans Saints, who should have won last week. I mean, I don't know how you blow it. You have the ball on the 1-yard line. All you gotta do is run some clock. They ran it in. They left a minute left. They caught a pass interference, and Koo, who's one of the best kickers in the game, kicks a 58-yarder. So New Orleans finds a way to lose to Atlanta. They go to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who have a lot of injuries, but have Patrick Mahomes. And because of that, I've got Kansas City. Jose.
Listen, man. I've told you last week, and I've told you again. They just figure it out how to win, man. It's
That's
if
it.
it's they struggle offensively at the beginning of the game. Their defense keeps them in the game. That defense is sneaky good, man.
Yep.
Nobody gives them props about them,
Very
but they're
underrated
sneaky good.
defense.
They
Very
get
underrated
pressure.
defense.
Last week they were getting pressure. They kept them in the game, and then they win a couple of drives, and they threw a bomb to the Worthy, and then they scored a touchdown at the end. You know what? Saints are good, but I don't know, man. This is a tough game to pick, man. Because
The Saints are good.
Saints,
Believe me, they are good.
they can put up points too, man. I don't know. I can't go against KC at home, so I'm taking KC.
Barbosa, if you watched that game last week, the Chargers are up 10-0. It's all Chargers. The crowd's fired up. It looks like they're going to get the upset, and they just shut them out the next 3 quarters.
Yep.
They're impossible to beat, Kansas City. I don't know. They just do it every week. Barbosa, what do you got?
Like Jose said, they find a way to win a game. It doesn't matter how. Defensively, offensively, when they need to get stops, they get stops. When they need to get touchdowns, they'll get touchdowns. When they need to get a field goal, they'll get a field goal. They just know how to win. Guys, we're talking about a team that's been to the Super Bowl 5 years. What, 4 out of 5
4
years?
of the last 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, 4 of the last 5 years. Mahomes won 3 of the last 4. Yeah, we're expected. It's expected. They know how to just win football games, and that defense is very underrated. Like Jose said, they're sneaky good. They're very underrated, and their defensive coordinator is a good coordinator, man. That guy knows how to prepare. He knows how to prepare that defense.
And you always
I'm
got the
surprised.
referees on their side too. So
Yes.
Hey, buddy, it's like the NBA. When you're good, you're gonna get the calls.
yeah,
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as
So
that. You're gonna get it.
You taking Kansas
Hey.
City, Barbosa?
Listen, and plus they got the Taylor Swift effect. If Taylor Swift is on,
Oh,
buddy,
my
and you and your Taylor
They need
Swift,
her on
shut up with
TV.
Taylor Swift, man.
They need her on
She hasn't even
TV.
showed up to any of the games. I think she
They
only showed
need
up
her
to
on
the first
TV.
game of the season. Who gives a shit about Taylor Swift? Who gives a? She's just getting up the
I'm
ass
just-
by Kelsey, and that's it. Anyways,
Hey, I'm
who's your
just
pick,
saying.
man? Pick your fucking
Yeah,
pick. Who gives a
I
shit?
said already.
You got
KC.
Kansas City? All right. So they get Kareem Hunt off the freaking couch and he rushes for 60 yards last. This team is just, it doesn't even matter. Like, they lose Rashee Rice. That's a big loss. We'll see if that affects Mahomes, who hasn't played well. Like, Mahomes, if you look at him, he's like average, but they still win. New Orleans can upset in this game, but yeah, I'm taking KC. Gil, what do you got?
I'm taking the upset alert because the NFL called in and said, "Okay, you guys got the division already. You know, you can't make this look bad. You gotta lose one because this is looking too obvious." So this is the upset alert, the fix. The NFL said, "Listen, we helped you out the last 2 games. This is getting too visual. You know, Denver's behind, Vegas is behind. You got to lose it, and they're going to lose this game. I'm telling you."
I think if the NFL is going to fix the game, it won't be on Monday nights when Taylor Swift's probably in the crowd. It's going to be on
I don't
a
think so
Sunday
either.
it won't be on a Monday night that they get screwed. But yeah, Gil, I think New Orleans can win this game. It's just hard to go against Kansas City. That's all.
Wasn't
You got
it?
New Orleans?
Wasn't it Dallas that wasn't it on a Sunday night where Aubrey decided to botch a kick so the game stayed under?
Yes,
It was on Thursday night last week.
that's
Okay,
right.
so primetime game, same thing.
Yeah, Aubrey's
If
first
Kamara
miss.
goes off, if Kamara has a big game, I can see the possibility of that happening. That's if Kamara goes off. Other than that,
The problem is, Barbosa, is Casey's run defense is one of the best in the league. And so if they
Yeah,
stop Kamara,
exactly.
then Chris Jones is going to be all over David Carr, who, as you know, is afraid in the pocket. So that's why Kansas City's probably going to win this game.
yeah.
But those are our picks.
Kansas City's going to lose to something weird. Like,
Yeah,
they're going to
some
lose to
Denver.
like.
It's not going to beat to New Orleans. It's going to
Yeah.
beat to the Giants.
No, it's
It's
going
gonna
to
be like
Denver.
the Bengals or
Bo Nix is
something.
going to go there and like throw 300 yards up their ass, and he doesn't even know what the hell happened.
Remember last year, guys? The Raiders beat them last year. Remember? The Raiders beat them. Yeah.
Yeah. At
And
home,
Green-
if I'm not mistaken, they're at
Yes.
home, right?
In Kansas City. And Green Bay beat Green Bay also beat them
We
last
beat them,
year
yeah.
when no one expected them to beat them. So that's when it's going to happen
Yeah.
when you least expect that they'll lose to a bad team. That's how it works. We've seen that a lot in the NFL so far this year. So we're done our picks. I just want to get it in real quick. Jose, do you have like one game that you think is an absolute lock this week against the spread? Total against the spread. You got a lock. Give me a lock.
Baltimore. Baltimore.
They are underdogs or favorites?
I think they're favored by 2.5 or whatever it is.
I think they are.
Or
Yeah, they're 2.5. Baltimore's a 2.5 point favorite. Okay, so that's Gil. Do
yeah, 2.5. Yeah.
you have a lock this week against the spread or a total?
Tony or me?
No, Gil. You.
Me, I'm gonna take my lock. Would be, I'd say the Packers.
Packers, not a bad pick. I've got a few that I like this week, but I'm gonna go with, as I said, the Vikings. I think that I'm very, very strong on revenge games, and I think that Sam Darnold's been circling this on the calendar for 4 weeks and didn't know what he had until week 5, and now they've got one of the better teams in the league. I think Minnesota at 2.5. I think they're beating the Jets. So that would be mine. I have a few others, but that would be my lock of the week. All right, guys. So that's our show for this week. As I said before, Jose is on fire, so you might want to listen to him. Guys, 14-2 last week. So, we'll see. He's got it going right now. Barbosa, got to catch up. We're all behind him by 8 games now. So, got to do better. Gil, hanging in there. We're all 8 games back, to this guy over here. We went 14-2 last week. So, that's our show. I'm the mouth of North Andrews. That's Gil Bay Santos, Tony Barbosa, who just refuses to not talk about the Colts, and Jose Carlos Gomes, who hates the Colts. He still doesn't know why we talk about
He's
them.
a hater. He's a hater. He drinks the haterade.
We'll see you next week on the
I just talk facts. They're shit. Period.
Yeah, I know. Every
Every
2-2 team is shit. I get it. So your Niners are shit too. Yeah, here
Oh
we
my
go.
God,
Yeah, your
man.
Niners are shit
Barbosa,
too.
please.
They're 2-2, so they're shit.
I'm
Buddy,
sorry.
you guys-
I'm sorry. I
Don't worry.
started
This
it.
week you're gonna be 2-3 when the fucking Jaguars beat your ass.
Yeah, I know.
Never mind.
Okay.
You know.
No
You know.
problem.
Hey, in life, there's 3 things: taxes, death, and the Jaguars beating your fucking Colts every single year. So
Well,
done.
that and the Leafs
Next.
losing. That and
Let's
the
see
Leafs
Sunday,
losing in the
buddy.
first
That's
round.
why they played.
Okay.
And that's why, hey,
Yeah,
remember the phrase, Jose, any given Sunday, buddy.
exactly.
Any given Sunday.
You
Willie beaming.
you've lost the Jaguar
Willie
teams.
beaming.
You've
What?
lost the Jaguar teams that were worse than now.
2-14. Yeah,
Exactly, buddy. Please don't even
when
talk
you needed to make the
Barbosa.
playoffs.
See?
I know.
Bro, let's see.
All right,
Let's see.
next week. Stay tuned for that because it's going to be interesting. Also, next week, guys, we'll have the NHL preview with the guys, and we'll preview the NHL season coming up. Gil's Devils have a new coach. We need to ask him about that and how his team's going to do this year. We'll talk about the Leafs, who have already started kneeing people out of games, and we'll talk about my Penguins, who have Crosby re-signed and nothing else. But until then, I'm the mouth of the North Andrews. This has been the Reach Report, and hit my music.